All right. Thank you everybody for joining us here for Up and Moving. So my name is Isaac. I've led another workout before. If you haven't seen me, I'm a grad student in the Kinesiology and Integrative Physiology department at Michigan Tech. And I'm going to be leading a workout tonight. We're going to focus on 4 different strength movements. And we'll start out with a little bit of a warm up to get our heart rate up. And at the end, maybe finish off with some cardiovascular activity if we have time and a light stretch to kind of cool down. So that's the plan for tonight. So let's go ahead right now and we can, well, actually, let me go over what you're going to need if you're watching the recorded version. I know I already told everybody who's here the supplies they'll need. But if you're watching the recorded version, grab these things, a towel. So a bath towel is good, something a little bit longer. A bed sheet will also work. You can grab a backpack, something that you can throw some weights in and wear to add a little bit of resistance to your body for some of the body weight exercises. And then lastly, a ball. So if you have a big blow up exercise ball, that'll work perfect. Or I have a basketball here. Soccer ball could work too. And then last thing you'll need is just a good sturdy chair, something that you can kind of lean on. Or you may even be able to use a couch too. So I've got some couches here around me in my living room. And so we'll utilize those. So let's go ahead and we'll start getting warmed up here. So let's start off. We'll do Frankenstein kicks first. So you're going to put your hands out in front of you and you're going to be kicking your toes up to your fingertips. So trying to keep the knee as straight as you can. Get your foot as high as you can. It should feel a little tight back there in your hamstrings. It's kind of a nice light stretch for the hamstrings, get those warmed up. And so we're just alternating feet, kicking up towards those toes. Perfect, looks good. And we'll do each one of these dynamic warm-up movements. We'll do for about 20 to 30 seconds. Go through a few of these different movements. Your heart rate should be up nice after that. You should feel warmed up. Get ready for the strength exercises. Good. Let's go ahead and switch over to butt kicks. So you're just going to be alternating, bringing your heel up to your butt, trying to kick yourself in the butt. Try to keep that knee right underneath you if you can. And we're just alternating. This is getting a little bit of a stretch now in the quads and the front of the legs. So we're going to get those quads warmed up. We're going to be using those tonight. Perfect. Good. All right, let's switch it up again. So we're going to go get your stance a little bit wider. So we've got a wider stance here. And what you're going to be doing is just leaning from one side to the other. So bending one knee, that other leg will be straight. This will give you a little bit of a stretch in your groin. Doesn't need to be a super deep stretch right now. We're just kind of putting a little bit of tension on it, getting things warmed up. So you're sort of staying down in this squat position and just shifting from one leg to the other. Perfect. Go a few more seconds with this one. Good. All right, we'll come back to the standing position. So now you're going to take that knee up and then you're going to put it off to the side. So knee up and then you're going to roll it off to the side. Really trying to get the hip flexors and the hips warmed up here. Almost like you're trying to step over a small fence with that leg. Get that foot up and out. Good. Perfect. All right, let's go with some arm circles. So arm circles forward, kind of start off small, just little circles. Keep going forward. We'll make them a little bit bigger. Good, and then a little bit bigger again. Perfect, and then real big going forward, good. Great, now we'll switch it up, we'll go backwards, we'll start small again. And get a little bit bigger, about medium. Perfect, and then nice big circles backwards. Perfect, good. Now we'll get some arm swings in. You can step side to side. So I'm just going side to side, swinging those arms in front, shaking out the shoulders a little bit. Perfect. All right, we're going to go with one more activity here, one more warm-up movement, and then I'll let you guys get a quick break and we'll jump into the strength stuff. So we're going to go to a jumping jack variation. So kicking that foot out to the side, bringing those hands up over your head. If you want to, you can go into just a regular jumping jack too. Otherwise, that kind of lower intensity version is just that step to the side. We got those arms moving. Good, push it a little bit harder, try to increase your pace. We're gonna get that heart rate up before we take a break. A little bit faster, good. Hang with me here. Perfect, all right, go nice and fast. We're gonna do a 10-second countdown. 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, and 1, good. All right. Take a little break, grab a drink of water. I seem to have misplaced my water. Might have to go without it for this workout. Good, so that heart rate should be elevated now. We're breathing a little bit harder and ready to get into some of our strength exercises. So we're gonna have 2 exercises that we're gonna do back to back that work a different body part. So we're gonna do a leg exercise and combine it with an upper body. So I'm gonna go over our first exercise. The first exercise is going to be sort of like a pistol squat variation, you'll hear them called. So what you can do is grab something to help support yourself with, so a chair is really good. And then what we're gonna be doing, I got to make sure that my feet are in the camera here. Looks like I can see what I'm doing here. Okay. So what you're going to be doing is taking your foot opposite of the hand that you're holding onto the chair with. So kind of have the chair off to your side. And you're going to extend that heel out in front of you, almost like you're stepping down a stair. So if you can see what I'm doing, I'll kind of give you a view of the other side. I'm grabbing here on the chair and pushing that heel out in front like I'm stepping down a stair. So it's almost a little bit of like a single leg squat. So try to take that heel and reach it out in front of you and touch it on the floor. That's essentially the goal of the exercise. And so this is really going to hit those quads. You should feel this in the front of your leg. So you can, to make this harder, you can drop a little bit lower. So you can see I'm getting nice and low. So you can kind of fit it to however difficult you want to make it. If you kind of just reach out a little bit in front of you, it won't be super hard. If you reach out really far, it's going to be pretty tough. So that's our first exercise, focusing on those quads. And then our second exercise that we're going to do paired with this is just a push-up variation. I love push-ups, good exercise, good for upper body strength and easy to do. And you can always find a variation that works for you. So what you can do for the push-ups, I've got a couch here in front of me that I'm going to use, but you can use your chair. So you're going to rest those hands on that chair or that couch. Get those feet behind you so I've got a straight line from my shoulder down to my heel. I'm going to keep those abs nice and tight, squeeze them. So I've got this straight line, and then I'm going to try to drop my chest all the way down to the chair if you can. If you can't make it all the way to the chair, that's okay. And you can always change how high elevated you are with these. So my chair is a little bit lower than my couch. So the lower you get to the floor, the harder it's going to be. And so I could do these on the chair as well. And if you feel like that's too easy, what you have set up with your chair, you can always just go on the knees and do them from the floor and on your knees. So those are our 2 exercises. I'm going to try to keep my eye on the chat here. Yeah, and you can go on your fists as well. So if you're doing these push-ups and it bothers your wrist, you can always just put your fists so that your knuckles are in contact with the floor. So let's go into our first working set. So this one, I want you to aim for 10 to 15 reps. It's up to you how many you do. But ultimately, at the end of the set, I want you to feel like the exercise is getting challenging. So you got a little bit of muscle burn, and it's starting to get hard to do. So we're going to go into this pistol squat variation again. So again, I've got my chair to help support me. So I'm grabbing onto the chair with my right hand, and I'm going to reach my left heel out in front of me. Reach my left heel out in front of me, almost like I'm lowering myself down a step. And I'm going to go for 10 to 15 here. So get as many as you can between 10 and 15. Reaching that heel out. Making sure that my knee is moving in the direction of my toes. Your quad should start to burn here. Perfect. Good, all right, I made it to 15. So go ahead when you finish that first set, go ahead and switch legs. So again, I'm gonna flip my chair around. So now I'm grabbing onto the chair with my left hand, and I am got my left foot on the floor, and I'm gonna reach with my right heel. So I'm reaching that heel out in front of me, getting some bend in that other knee. Good. Should be burning your quads by the time you get to 10 or 15. You should be feeling it in the front of that leg. Perfect. Good, all right, I'm done, I made it. So once you get your 10 to 15 on both legs, we can go into the push-up. We're just gonna keep flipping between these 2 exercises. So I'm going to be doing my push-up on the chair. I've got my chair set up. My feet are back, straight line from my shoulder to my ankle. My abs are tight. I'm going to maintain my core position. Here we go. We're going to go for 10 to 15 of these. If you can make it to 15, fantastic. Perfect. Keeping those abs tight. We're still breathing. Breathe in on the way down. Breathe out on the way up. Keep good control of your body. Again, abs tight. Don't let your hips sag down to the floor. Perfect. Good. Awesome. So once we finish up a set of push-ups, let's go ahead. We'll get a little bit of a water break here. That's 1 set of these down. Congratulations. Pat yourselves on the back for that. I know I'm certainly breathing a little bit harder now. I want to see if I can get my video a little bit bigger so I can see myself. Hard to see what part of me is in the video here. My computer's so far away. All right. Okay, once we've gotten a little drink, we're feeling ready to go. We're going to go back into this little pistol squat. So I'm gonna make this a little bit harder for myself on this second set by not using a chair. So if you feel like you don't need a chair to support yourself, you can do it without. So I'll kind of show you exactly what this is gonna look like from the side. So I'm gonna start with working my right leg. So I'm gonna be kicking this left heel out in front of me, touching it down on the floor. And I'm gonna go for 10 to 15 here. Again, you can get as low as you want if you feel like you can control yourself. Sometimes it helps to just put those hands on your hips. Going for 10 to 15. I'm feeling it in that quad, it's burning. Good. Perfect. All right, I made it. I'm gonna go ahead and switch sides. Go for 10 to 15 on this side. So I'm gonna be working my left leg. So I'm gonna be kicking my right heel out in front of me. I'll show you guys the other side too if you're a little bit confused of how to do these. Try to keep your abs tight here. You're thinking about keeping your hips level. You don't want one hip to drop and one hip to kind of hike up on you. Good. Perfect. And again, this really mimics kind of going downstairs. So we're usually using our quads to kind of help us as we lower down steps. So this is good training for conquering stairs. All right, I've hit my 15 reps on each leg. So I'm gonna go into my push-up now. So I'm gonna stick with the chair. This has been working good for me. So if you got 15 last time and it was really easy for you, go ahead and try to do them on the floor this time if you need to make it a little bit harder. All right, here we go. We're going for 10 to 15 reps on the push-ups. Abs tight. Thinking about keeping a straight line from your shoulder down to your ankle. Good control. Not too fast, and we're breathing. Breathing in on the way down, breathing out on the way up. And really trying to drive that floor or that chair away from you when you get to the bottom. Push it away. Perfect. Good. Once you finish your setup, we'll go ahead, take another little water break if you need to grab a quick sip. I know I'm starting to feel it in my chest now, my shoulders, my quads are getting a little bit fatigued. So we're going to do this round of exercises one more time. And then after that, we'll switch things up. Take a few more minutes here to break. So again, on this last set for me, on these pistol squats, I'm going to go without the chair. And it's our last set, so I know I can push myself a little bit harder. I don't have another set I need to do. So I'm going to try to really get as low as I can, pushing that heel out in front of me as far as I can. And you can see it's making my knee bend a little bit more. The more that this knee has to bend, the harder it's going to be. So let's go ahead and do our last set here. 10 to 15. And really good, slow and controlled on the way down. Reach that heel out in front of you. Good. Reach that heel out in front. Get a good reach. Sometimes it helps too to have a spot on the floor you're looking at, right where you're going to put your heel. I'm reaching out there for it. This one's really starting to burn my quads. If you feel like it's putting a little bit too much pressure on your knee, you can also lean forward. Just take your whole torso and lean your torso forward and reach that heel out. Perfect, good. All right, I'm done with that side. I'm going to switch, go to my other side. So now I'm onto my right leg. So again, if it's bugging your knee, starting to hurt, lean your torso forward and then reach that heel out. I'm going to keep my chest up nice and high. That'll make it harder because I want to really burn this last set out. Reaching that heel out in front. So our last set, let's get those quads fired up here. Perfect, good. All right, once you finish up your set on each leg, we're gonna go into our last set of push-ups. For me, I'm gonna go on the floor. I'm gonna make this one a little bit harder than the last ones. So I've got my knees on the floor, my hands out in front of me. Now I'm gonna try to keep a straight line from my shoulder down to my knee and my abs nice and tight. All right, here we go. Last set of push-ups. Let's push this one. Good control. Nice and slow on the way down. And then drive that floor or chair or couch away from you. Whatever you're leaning on. Think about pushing your chest out as you lower. Kind of bring your chest to the chair or the floor. Come on, last set. Since it's your last set, you got to do one more. Once you start to feel like it's burning, you say, all right, I got one more in me. Perfect. All right, I got one more in me. Woo! All right. Okay, we are done with push-ups and pistol squats. So take some time to grab a sip of water, get a drink. And when we come back, we'll pick out 2 more exercises we're going to do. Same format. We're going to switch back and forth between the exercises. We'll have a leg exercise and an upper body exercise. So for this next pairing, as you're getting a drink here, if you don't have it yet, get a towel. A longer towel will probably be better, so you might want a bath towel. Bed sheets can work too. So bed sheets or towel, have that. And then there's a couple of different options for the other leg exercise we're going to do, which I'll show you in a moment. I'm going to use a ball, but if you have like a hardwood floor or a tile floor, something that's kind of slippery, that can work too as a substitute for the ball. All right. So while we're still recovering, I'm going to show these first 2 exercises to you. We'll come back to them for our working sets. If you want to play around with it and kind of feel the exercise out as I'm showing it to you, you can do that. So the first exercise, I got to make sure that I can get my whole body in the camera here. It's tough to see what I'm showing. Is going to be a hamstring curl and kind of a hip bridge on the floor. So again, you can do this with a ball. I'll show you how to do it with a ball first. If you don't have a ball, it's okay. I'll show you another way. So what you're going to do, lay on your back. Your heels are going to go on the ball. You're going to push your hips up, hands out at your side, and you're going to roll the ball out. You might want to start with the ball in the middle of your foot. Roll the ball out, and then you're going to roll your heels back to your butt. So roll the ball out, heels back to your butt. So you're trying to keep your hips extended. If they drop a little bit, that's okay. It'll make it easier if your hips are lower. What you want to do is roll that ball and then drive those heels back to your butt. Roll the ball out. And so what this is going to work is your hamstrings and your glutes. So kind of work in the back of the leg. We hit the quads. Now we're going to flip it over. So if you don't have a ball, but you do have a slippery floor, it's another variation you can do. Now I have carpet here, so this towel is not going to work on carpet. But you can take your towel, lay it on the floor, and do the exact same thing. Put your feet on that towel, and then you're going to be sliding that towel out and then sliding your heels back. So same exact concept if you have a slippery floor. You may be able to get away with using your socks on carpet, but kind of try it out. Find an area that works for you. And then for this one, we're going to be all on the floor. So if you're worried about getting up and down continuously, it's okay. We're going to stay on the floor for both these exercises. Second exercise is going to be an isometric row with the towel. So you take your towel, and so I kind of just rolled it up longwise. So it's almost like a rope. I'm gonna take that towel, throw it around my feet, right in about the center of my foot. And then from here, I've got my chest up, my legs maybe just slightly bent. And then from here, what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna try to pull this towel. So I'm like trying to pull the towel this way. So what you're gonna do is push your chest out and pull the shoulder blades together. And then we're gonna hold that for about 30 seconds. We're just gonna sit there and pull. So almost like you're trying to rip that towel. So that is gonna be our second exercise. And that one is really gonna work the muscles kind of in the back, a little bit in your biceps, so all the pulling muscles. Okay, so those are our 2 exercises. So let's go ahead and get into them. So we'll go into our first set of the hamstring curls. So I'm going to use a basketball. Again, you can use a towel and a slippery floor. We're going to stick with 10 to 15 reps. So aim for as many as you can get. So again, I start on my back. I put my feet on the ball or on the towel. And then first step is extend your hips. So I'm driving my hips off the floor, hands out to your side for balance, and then extend your feet, and then drive your heels back to your butt while trying to keep your hips up off the floor. Drive the heels back to your butt. Good. We'll go for 10 to 15 of these. And you should feel this in the back of your legs and your hamstrings. Good. So nice and slow on the way out as you're rolling the ball or pushing the towel away from your body. Perfect. And think about driving those hips to the ceiling as you're pulling the heels. Hips to the ceiling, heels to butt. Good. This is a tough exercise. This one's difficult. Okay. We got one set of that in. Let's go into our towel rows. That's what I'm going to call these, towel rows. Because we're essentially doing a rowing exercise, but we're using our towel. So again, have a seat on your butt. Take your towel, throw it around your feet. Get a little bit of bend in those knees. And we're going to do a countdown here. We're going to go for 30 seconds. So you're going to be pulling on this towel for 30 seconds. So you can pull as hard as you want. You're probably going to get a little bit weak towards the end of the 30 seconds. That's okay. Just keep trying to pull. All right, ready? 3, 2, 1. Here we go. Pull the shoulder blades back. Push your chest out and pull that towel. Good. Pull, pull, pull. I'll give us a countdown when we get to 10 seconds. Good. Pull the shoulder blades together, chest out. Try to rip that towel. 10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Good. Go ahead and take a break. Perfect. All right, we'll take time for a little water break. Grab a quick drink. I'll check and make sure we don't have any messages in here. Perfect, good. All right. So after a few more seconds of recovery here, we'll go back into another set. If you guys are having any problems, you need some troubleshooting, go ahead and send me a message. Let's see. We got something maybe. One leg at a time. Yeah, you could do one leg at a time. It may be actually harder with one leg. Give it a try, whatever works for you though. Yeah, if you want to put one leg on the ball and or towel and do that, that's perfect. Same movement. But yeah, just try to go really nice and slow, controlled as you're kind of pushing it away, and then drive those heels back to your butt. Good. Okay. I'm feeling ready to go. Let's go into our second set. We got 2 more rounds. We got to go through these 2. So we're going to go back to those hamstring curls. Another thing too, If it's too hard for you to pull the ball or slide the towel back to yourself, one thing you can do is start with the ball out in front and your butt on the floor. Or I'm sorry, start in the same spot and then just let it down really slow. And then you can just keep your butt on the floor and reset. So that would be just doing the kind of pushing away part of it. So again, reset, push away really slow. And then when you get to the back bottom, just put your butt down and come back. So I'm here, and then I reset. I'm here, and then I reset. So if you find that it's too hard to pull it back towards you, just do it that way. Okay, here we go. 10 to 15 reps. Pushing away, driving the heels back to my butt. Pushing away, driving the heels back to my butt. Perfect. And really good slow and control as you're extending those legs. Good. So again, if it's too tough for you to get the ball back to your body, just reset with your butt on the floor and do the pushing outward part. Good, I've got one more I'm going to do. All right. Perfect. Should be feeling that one a little bit maybe in your butt, probably mostly in the hamstrings though. So we're going to go back into that towel row. Grab your towel. Have a seat on the floor, feet out in front of you. Sometimes it helps too to put your feet together. I'm going to take that towel that's going around the middle of my foot. Grab it on. Give everybody a couple seconds here to get set. And ready? Here we go. So thinking about pushing your chest out, pulling your shoulder blades. 3, 2, 1. Here we go. Good. Pull that towel. Pull it, pull it, pull, pull, pull. And you can pull as hard as you want here. Perfect. Keep pulling hard. Keep your chest up and out. You're pulling your shoulder blades together. That's what you're thinking about doing. Good. 10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Good. Go ahead, take a break. Whew. That one gets tough by the end. All right. We're going to go one more water break. Grab a quick sip. We're going to come back for our last set of these. I know my hamstrings are feeling a little tired after the first couple sets of those lying hamstring curls. Hopefully nobody has actually ripped a towel. I hate for you guys to ruin your nice towels on my watch. Okay, looks like we're doing great on time here. All right, we all ready? It's our last time going through. Let's do this. So remember, our last set means we can maybe push it a little bit harder, as long as you're keeping your form nice and tight and things are slow and under control. Here we go, last set of these two. So again, if you've been struggling with these hamstring ones, I'm going to show you what to do. Just do the portion where you raise your heels and you push out in front of you. And then you can put your butt down and just reset and count that as 1 rep. And then this would be 2, and then reset. So if you've been struggling. Okay, here we go. Last set of these. Let's go for it. 10 to 15. So I'm going to try to do the pushing out and the pulling back on this one to make it nice and hard. I'm going nice and slow. I'm trying to keep my hips off the floor if I can. If you have to let your hips touch the ground, it's okay. If your butt touches down, no biggie. We're mostly focusing on those hamstrings. Good. Oh man, my hammies are burnt out. Job. So go ahead and Nancy's saying too, if you do one leg at a time with the hips lifted, it's a little easier on the back. So good tip there, Nancy. So go ahead and try that at home too. You can do one leg at a time if you feel like that's a little bit better. Perfect. We should be finishing up those hamstring curls. We're going to go into our last set of towel rows. So try to pull a little bit harder on this last set. It's our last one. And again, got that towel out in front of you. You're thinking about pulling the shoulder blades back and pushing the chest out, just like you would be rowing a boat, except the rows aren't going anywhere. It's like the rows are stuck in cement. All right, get your towel rolled up. It's going around my feet, around the middle of my foot. Got a little bit of bend in my knees. And let's go into our last one. Ready? 3, 2, 1, and pull. Pull the shoulder blades together, push that chest out. Think about ripping that towel apart. Great exercise here for the back. You feel it a little bit in your biceps too. Good. Keep pulling. We're about to get to our 10-second countdown, so go ahead and just pull hard on this last 10 seconds if you can. 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, and relax. Good. Whew. Okay, we made it. Go ahead and get yourself a well-deserved drink of water. And we are at about 6:40 here. We're making great time. It's been a good workout so far. I've enjoyed it. Hopefully you guys have as well. Getting a little bit of everything in. Strengthening the upper body, strengthening the lower body. All right. So we'll end here with about 5 minutes or so of kind of cooling down, stretching, let our heart rates come back down. So go ahead and we'll stay on the floor since that's where most of us are at, and I don't feel like standing up now at this point. Make sure the camera is on me. There we go. Okay, good. So let's just spread your legs, feet out in front of you. Take your left hand and try to reach down towards your right foot. Taking the left hand to the right foot. And just breathe. Think about every time you breathe out, you're just relaxing all the muscles that you're stretching right now a little bit more. Just letting tension out. Every breath out, more tension. Getting released. Good. Perfect. Awesome. Let's go ahead and flip. Take your right hand. We're going to go down to the left leg now. Same thing here. Just kind of focus on your breathing. And every time you breathe out, just feel those hamstrings and your back relax a little bit more. Every breath out is just releasing tension. Good. All right. Let's bring those feet together. Kind of coming in. I don't know what you call this, Indian style sitting maybe. So you're just going to try to get those feet up to your pelvis if you can. So you can get a little groin stretch here. You can even take your elbows and almost push down on your legs. Feel it in your groin a little bit more. Perfect. And same thing here. We're just going to breathe. Every time you breathe out, you're just releasing some more tension. Good. All right, let's go ahead and shift now onto the hands and the knees. If you've got a yoga mat, you might want to grab it here if you're not on carpet, if it hurts your knees to. What we're going to do here now, you're going to get on all fours and then kind of sit your butt back, kind of like you're going into like a squat. And then what you're going to do, take your right hand, put it on the back of your head, and you're going to push the floor away with your left arm and try to look at the wall. So I'm kind of opening up, and we'll just do this a few times, nice and slow. So try to open up and look at that wall. Good. And come back down. And think about pushing the floor away with that hand that's on the floor, almost like you're pulling a bow back. Pulling a bow back and try to open up as much as you can. Every time you come up, you're trying to open a little bit further. And open up. Good. This is a really good kind of exercise to work on your back muscles and sort of mobility in your spine. Good. Let's get one more and then we'll switch sides. Open up nice and far here. Good. And hold it for a sec. Great. You might even feel this kind of in your back muscles a little bit working. Okay, so now we're going to go to that other side. So now that opposite hand's going to be on the floor, other hand on the back of the head. We're going to do the same thing. You're just going to open up as far as you can. Back down. Open up as far as you can. Get a little hold at the top. Good. Back down to the bottom. And open up. Good. Back down. Open up. Good. So let's go for one more here. Really try to open up on this one. Push that floor away with the other hand. Good. Nice job. Beautiful. All right, let's go into one more stretch here that I really like for the hips. So there's two ways to do this one. If your hips are nice and flexible, you can kind of start almost like in that seated position like this, and you're just going to put one leg behind you and come up over the top of the front one. So I guess I'll show you what that looks like here. So that's if your hips are nice and flexible. If that's a little bit too tight and you're having trouble with that one, just take your leg and pop it up on your knee. And then you can take that knee and kind of push the knee away. So very similar stretch. So if you have trouble with that first way, you can go to this one. Perfect. And we're just going to hold this and just relax again and try to breathe through it and relax that hip. So every breath out, just letting some more tension out. Come right down onto those elbows. Good. I really like this one. This one always feels great. All right, let's go ahead and switch to the other side. So you got your both legs out in front. Now you're just gonna keep the other leg out in front of you and come over the top of it. Elbows down onto the floor. Hopefully you guys can see me in the video. Good, getting a good stretch in that hip. Feel it in your glute a little bit, in the hip, and just breathe out and relax that muscle. Just try to settle deeper and deeper into it. Again, if this is too tough for you to get into that position, I'll just show you the other one too if you're struggling. So you're just gonna bring that foot up, ankle onto your other knee, and then push the other knee down away from you. Will be a very similar stretch on the hip. Whew, all right, good. That's a nice stretch to end on. So that is it. Hopefully everybody enjoyed the workout. Got a little bit of strength work in, nice stretch at the end. So thank you everybody for joining us. And if you're watching the recorded video, I hope that you enjoy it. And hopefully I'll see you guys again soon here. We'll be back on Thursday morning at 9:30 and Saturday at, I think 10:30. Is it 9? 10? At 10. 10. Okay, 10 on Saturday. Yeah, I should definitely have these times pinned down if I'm going to be putting out plugs for them on here. The stretches, yes, the pigeon stretch. I could not think of the name of it. Thank you. Nancy's always cleaning up after me.